Welcome to the brand new Draymond Green Show YouTube channel. Hit subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our content. Our season overall as a whole, ironically, 46-36, 2 more wins than we had last year when we were the 6th seed, end up the 10th seed. Different West. And, like I said before, we blew some games that we should have easily won. I can count maybe 6-7 games on my two hands, right off the top of my head that, we gave away. We gave 2 OKC games away. Fouling at the end of the game on threes, both of them. Gave them away. Or we gave up the 3 to Chet, and then I fouled on the 3. That's 2 games we absolutely gave away. We gave away a game to the Clippers. Gave away a game to Chicago. The list goes on and on. Joker hits a almost half-court shot against Denver in a game we were up 17. That's 5. And I can continue on. Point is, when you have those games, you have to close those games. The great teams close those games. And that's what separates good and great teams. And so when you look at those things, you ultimately get what you deserve in the end, through everything that went on this season. When you look at those things, it's unfortunate, but that's where we have to tighten up. We know what it takes to win a championship. We know what the things that go into it. It's a process. It's an 8-month process. It's not a 2-month process. And you have to be in that process the entire time. You skip steps in that process, you don't win. And we didn't do a great job of that this year. So that's now back-to-back seasons getting eliminated in tough closeout games, but far earlier than we expect, especially this one, not being in the playoffs. This sucks. But got to go back to the drawing board, retool. Had great exit interviews yesterday. Steve, Mike, looking forward to talking about what the future of this team looks like. You're not allowed to make the playoffs and then think everything's just going to stay the same. That's not a realistic thing, especially for an organization that has experienced the success that we've now brought to this organization. You can't just think it's going to stay the same and they're going to just look at. I don't expect that. When you're in a situation like this, all things are on the table. You'd be crazy to go into it thinking it's not, or I'm good, or nah, you're not, until you are. So I am looking forward to having these conversations, seeing what's next, what the thoughts are. Kind of had a few thoughts yesterday, but you're kind of just on this tight 20-minute schedule where everybody's kind of getting through their exit interviews. So looking forward to having those conversations. What does that mean for the big 3, the trio, all the names I've seen? I wish I had an answer for you. But what I do know is there's not one person in this organization that does not want Klay Thompson back here. Because I don't think there's one person around here that don't think we can't win again. Now, again, do you have to retool? Do you have to figure some things out? Do you need young guys to take steps? Yes, all of these things has to happen in organizations for them to continue to be successful. So yes, there are some tweaks that need to be made. Me personally, I don't think there's an overhaul that need to be made. I think there are tweaks that needs to be made. And if we can successfully make those tweaks, I think we put ourselves right back in the conversation. Klay will ultimately have to make a decision, and he'll go into free agency. He'll see, I'm sure, I know how this business goes. He'll see what's out there. He'll continue to talk to the Warriors. There will be negotiations that needs to be had. One thing I will say that I learned last year, and I had never been through in my career, free agency is not a fun place. Free agency kind of sucks. There are a couple people every now and then where free agency could be fun, but like the reality is free agency is like uncertainty. Like, and if there's anything all of us hate in life is uncertainty. You're always looking for certainty in whatever it is that you do. Free agency is like an uncertain place. You think your market is this. You think your market is that. That person over there thinks your market is this. Ultimately, it boils down to what is someone willing to offer you? I can think my market is whatever I wanted to think it is, but until I get to the free agency table and the offers start rolling in, you don't know what your market is. So I myself absolutely hated free agency. It sucks because you sit there and you go on about your life not knowing really what's next. And that's no fun place to be. And you're at the mercy of someone else seeing a value of something and putting a dollar amount on it. And then you figuring out what you think that dollar amount is and trying to somehow make it work. And in the process, feelings get hurt, relationships are broken. It's just the nature of it. It's really the shitty part of the business. So Klay will go into free agency and he will look around the market, I'm sure, because that's how you do these things. In any negotiation, that is with negotiating for toilet paper, and that is with negotiating for food, whatever it is, that's just how you go about it. So he'll do that. And I ultimately hope that he's back here, that we all can close this thing out together the way we've done it, continue to chase after the things that we know are out there for us, which is winning championships, continuing to bring more success to a franchise than anyone could ever imagine, besides Joe. Joe definitely imagined, but nobody else imagined. That is the goal. You don't have the opportunity to finish with the guys you started with often. And we have that opportunity. But like I said, ultimately, I know, like, when we started this journey, Klay was 21. Klay is 34. Life looks totally different at 34 than it did at 21. And so I ultimately know he has to make decisions for himself, for his life. And if there's one thing I hate is when guys like decide in free agency they're going to go somewhere else and then guys be mad like they left them. Like, oh, you left me. I'm upset at you. And like, we're beefing now for the media. Like, it ain't never going to be that. Because I don't understand that. Like, someone make a personal decision for themselves, for their family, for their career, and then people get mad and be like, oh, I'm mad at, like, oh, F him. And like, that's whack to me. And so I personally want Klay to come back. We all do. But if Klay ultimately decides that he wants something else for himself, for his life, got my utmost love and support, because what we've done together can never be taken away. The brotherhood that we've built will not change at all. But we do want to finish. But I don't understand that corny stuff when guys like, oh, man, I'm like, in media beefing and stuff, we don't do that over here. Travis told me after we lost, he said, yo, you're going to go through like some crazy emotions. Like, you're going to go through like high, low, like, oh, I'm done. I get to spend time with my family. Like, wait, I'm supposed to be playing basketball at this time. Like, you're going to experience all these. And when he said it, it was right after the game. And I was just like, no, like, I didn't say it back to him, but I was just thinking to myself, like, you talking about? Like, all right. And like the emotional roller coaster I've been on the last 2 days is crazy. Like, I'm here, I'm there. I'm like, I'm playing this thing. I get to go to this thing. I shouldn't be going to that thing. Like, what? I've been all over the place. So how I feel about I don't know how I feel about being done this early. Never been done this early. It's crazy. Like I can't. I don't know, man. It's the range of emotions right now is crazy, and I am not enjoying this at all. Playoff basketball is the most fun time of year. It's what I look forward to the most, and to not have that experience already has me thinking personally for myself next year, like you coming in way better as a player. You're coming in the best shape of your life. You're doing it's crazy. I don't know what to feel, how to feel about this. Like when you win and you experience those pinnacles, to then try to come back from that, you end up doing this after knowing those feelings and what that feel like and how that competition goes. And man, it's the playoffs. That's when everybody watching. It's crazy thing. Crazy. I don't know. I can't figure the emotions of it out. Man, the things that we accomplished together, 4 NBA titles. I could have never imagined winning the NBA title coming into the NBA. It's a crazy story. And, man, love this dude to death, brother of mine. But it's a moment, like you have moments in your life that you'll never forget. And this was a moment in my life that I'll never forget. I've never been a loser in my life. I've won at every level of basketball. So to think that I'm coming to an organization that lose is like, to me, I'm like, oh no, we're gonna win. Like I was that dumb to believe no, we're gonna win. Like won 23 games the year before, but we're gonna win. Like I was that naive. Like I had never lost in my life. I got drafted to the Golden State Warriors, and Lamar Woodley, who is one of my OGs, big brother of mine from Saginaw, Michigan, Pittsburgh Steelers legend, Super Bowl champion. He always had a camp every year back in Saginaw in the summer, and Marshawn Lynch always came to the camp. Marshawn loved Saginaw. I'm sure it reminds him of Oakland. But I got nothing but love for Marshawn, big brother of mine. But I'll never forget this moment. And Lamar was like, we were standing in the parking lot of Stardust Lanes in Saginaw. And Lamar was like, yo, he just got drafted to the Warriors. Like, he gonna be in Oakland. And Marshawn was like, ha, 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 y'all suck. Like, the Warriors don't never win. Like, y'all suck. And I was like, yeah, that's gonna change. Like that, like we suck. Like me sucking, like, nah, that's changing. Like I don't ever suck. That's gonna change. And to like I'll never forget that. And that story is less about Marshawn, but just more about what the Warriors were. And so to come out of college and get drafted to that organization, and to think 12 years later, won 4 titles with the same guys, 6 finals appearances with the same guys, won 73 games with the same guys. Hardly ever lost. We lost 3 playoff series fully healthy in 11 years. That's crazy. Like, to accomplish that, the common thought of this organization was what Marshawn said. The laughingstock of the NBA, for sure. For sure, laughingstock of the NBA. And to think that we've done all of this together, changed the way basketball is played together, changed the way championships are viewed these days. You got guys in the NBA talking about winning championships. Like, that was never the thing. Like, I've seen guys have career nights and after the career night, yeah, but we need to win a championship. Like, bro, that's a career night in the regular season. Like, that was never the conversation. But because of what we've accomplished and made it look like it's supposed to be done that way and made it look so easy. Everybody think like, oh, now you're just going to win a championship. And then players get like devalued because they don't win a championship because that's the standard. But the reality is like, we did it on the level as good as anybody that's ever done it. And by the way, to Steph's point, which I love these moments because they never seem to not come true. Right after the game, in the Kings locker room, I said, I love you, bro. It's like, I love you too. We ain't done. You right. Got it. Noted. Cool, we ain't. You right. So, to think that, like, we've done these things, I love it. And we not done. So that's that. That's the end of the Dub season. That's a wrap. I am extremely grateful to finish year 12 in my career, year 12 healthy. I got so much gratitude. Like I told you, emotions are all over the place, but I can look at that and be like, man, second round pick from Saginaw, Michigan, Michigan State University, getting drafted to the Golden State Warriors and being labeled a tweener, which was a death sentence when I was coming out in the draft. Second round pick, although I was National Player of the Year. I just finished year 12 in the NBA. I got gray hairs now. I was just looking in the mirror. I got more gray hairs coming in up top. About to be full salt and pepper. But I'm still in the NBA, and I just finished year 12. So I got such gratitude for that.
All right, the NBA season is in full swing, coming down the stretch. Then we move right into the playoffs in April, May, and June. I can't wait. Spice things up with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA right now. All you have to do is put down $5 and get $150 instantly in bonus bets. Pretty good trade-off. I pay $5, I get $150. North Carolina listeners, do not forget. Welcome to the party. DraftKings Sportsbook now live in your state, North Carolina. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Takes 90 seconds. The code is Colin, C-O-L-I-N. Again, 90 seconds. Download DraftKings Sportsbook app. Put in Colin. New customers bet $5, get $150 back in bonus bets instantly. That is the trade. All right? The code is always Colin. The crown is yours.